Today's episode is sponsored by the 2023 Rhode Island Business Summit, presented by Stella Business Concepts on September 21st at the Event Factory in Warwick, Rhode Island. Join us to connect with B2B vendors, amazing networking opportunities, and guest speakers like Patricia Raskin, who will talk to you about podcasting for your business, leadership with Mary Sullivan, or customer retention with me, Erica Sicosio, and more. We have panelists, and we also have a very fun, amazing lunch and learn with Rhode Island comic Poppy Champlin. Tickets are on sale now. Visit our website at www.stellabusinessconcepts.com. See you there. Hey guys, Erica Sicosio here with Practical Biz Podcast. We're so excited that you tuned in today for an amazing episode. I am joined today with Drew Dockery, who is a public speaker. He is an author, motivational guy, and we're super excited to have him. So today we're going to talk about having your network equal your net worth, because those things are very connected. So we're going to talk a little bit about why it's important to network and what that means for you and your business. So welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So tell folks a little bit about yourself.
Got you. Well, I'm actually a business coach. And what I do is I help people who are sales professionals and entrepreneurs, small business owners as well, help them not leave money on the table by doing three simple things. Number one is monetizing your relationships. Number two is growing your network. And number three is making proper connections. And being the author of the Connectors Handbook, I basically wrote the book for it to be a blueprint to getting out, connecting, growing your network effectively, and being efficient with it. So,
yeah. And ironically, we met, guess what? Through networking.
Definitely.
Yeah, through Jamie's group. So let's talk a little bit about, what do you mean by monetizing your relationships?
Monetizing your relationships is a concept I learned to understand when I started building my first really successful business. The issue that most people have is they don't know how to work through people to make money. So a lot of times when they get involved in business, if they decide to do anything or let their family know or whatever, they don't properly work through them. So anybody who doesn't buy up front in their close influential sphere, I guess, they don't want to mess with them after that, and they don't choose to work through them to make more money. So monetizing those relationships, it has to do with somebody ushering you into a room. So even with the group that we're a part of with Jamie, I was ushered into that room. I'm from Buffalo, New York, so I don't have any connections to Rhode Island.
Which is really, really cool.
Right,
so
super.
Thanks for coming out on this rainy day, from Buffalo, New York. Definitely. I love that.
No problem. Yeah. So what happened was, actually a good friend of mine who's actually a client, he's in insurance. He knows Jamie. So he connected me to a group of professionals that you guys have here. And I ended up connecting with you. So that's kind of him ushering me into a room. So I was able to monetize that relationship because he trusted me enough to introduce me to people he knew. And that's really what monetizing your relationship, that's how it starts. Sure. And then from there, you have no idea where that'll take you.
Well, and then too, it's your job, I think, having somebody help lead you in a room, but then at that point you have to be a skilled speaker or entrepreneur and really believe in what it is that you're doing or selling or whatever good or service that you're providing, and it's up to you to do your job to then really make the money.
Definitely.
Right?
My
really
business coach told me, he said, don't let your talent get you into a room that your character will get you kicked out of. Yeah. So I take that to heart when it comes to being ushered into rooms. I don't take it lightly. So even us connecting, I'm definitely appreciative of this relationship.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about maybe networking growth, or how do you grow a network?
Growing your network, you got to be out and about. As the young folks say, you got to be outside. So I'm outside. Yeah. When
Me
it
too.
comes to, you got to be.
That's why I have curly hair today, because it's raining out. I was not trying to straighten it. But you got it. Yeah, you
definitely got to be outside. We did a networking event back home Thursday night, matter of fact, and I was meeting some folks, and one of the guys was asking where my office was. I told him, and I'm like, well, I'm never there. Typically, I'm always out and about, looking to have meetings out and about, because you can only make money outside of
Not
your
sit
meeting
behind
space.
your desk.
Yeah, it's impossible to do that. Money just doesn't come knock on your door often. You know what I mean? It may happen. I'm not saying it doesn't happen.
Sure.
But that you can't really build a business off of expecting people to come knock on your door to come do business with you.
Yeah.
So you have to go where the business is, and typically that's what I do.
Yeah. So, especially we're in Rhode Island, which is a super small state. So everything is like who you know. Like, yeah,
Definitely.
this is a definitely I know a guy state.
Yeah.
I say that a lot, but it really truly is. And so the more that people know about you, even if they're not the one who does that initial business with you, they may be able to tell someone else. So maybe you might not be somebody who likes to be on podcasts, but you might know 5 other people who do and can't wait to go out and talk about their book or their next project,
Definitely.
So, so some people are shy. Some people are like, I only want to do audio. Do I have to be on video? I'm like, we can do whatever you want, but you're only going to be on one platform instead of 2.
Right.
So you can double that exposure with that one little bit of time. But I think, getting out as much as you can is definitely a point.
And I'll be honest, I'm an introvert by nature. Stuff like this, I hate it. But it's necessary because you have to build those relationships to find out who can lead you or usher you into different rooms to grow your network.
Yeah.
So it's necessary.
Yeah, how did you get out of that? Because I do work with a lot of people who are really like, oh, I hate going to networking things. They're real nervous about it. Because I'm an extrovert. For sure.
Gotcha.
So to me, it's like, what do you mean? It's so easy. I'm Italian. I'll talk to everyone in the world. Derek's like that too. We could be in a room with like 100 people we don't know. We'll know everybody by the time we leave. How do you help somebody who maybe is a little bit more reserved to get out?
Got you. So this is what I did. I like fashion to some degree. I may not be the best dressed in the room, but I'll probably be, top 5%, I guess.
Yeah.
But that draws some attention. So when I talk about, I think I spoke about in the video, you can't sell a dream looking like a nightmare.
Yeah.
That's what that's tied to, because you can't go somewhere and expect to have a positive result and you don't look the proper, you don't look the right way.
Yeah.
So in essence, when you go into a room looking a certain kind of way, they'll be attracted and magnetically drawn to you. And you don't really have to do much. I don't want to go walk up to people and just interrupt your conversation,
Sure.
interrupt your dinner or whatever you're doing. But people will interrupt mine. It happens quite often. But it's based on who you are, how you show up in the room, what is your energy level, what kind of vibe you have. And that's what I talked about in the book. The vibe that you carry will attract people to you.
Yeah, so your advice is be approachable.
Definitely.
Right, definitely be approachable. The other thing, too, is, being confident. So maybe you're not confident to go and it's kind of rude to interrupt people anyway, by the way, just good etiquette. But, maybe you'll have people come to you if you're standing straight, if you're making eye contact, if you're confident in what you're going to say, you can see that. If you're not confident, people also see that. Your shoulders are slumped, you're looking down, you're like, so being really, really aware of that.
Definitely.
So how has having a powerful network helped you?
Honestly, having a powerful network got me to a place where I was able to easily be connected to forward-thinking people, forward-moving business moves, and it just kind of helped me scale up with my experience. So just being able to be connected with somebody who say, hey, I got this new thing I'm working on. I want to show it to you. Let's check it out and see how it works or see what you think about it. From there, they're connecting me with somebody that they may have a high level of respect for. Now I go into their network, they usher me into that room, and now I can build that relationship with who they're connected to that they have a high level of respect for. So it's just being able to work through people and having a powerful network a lot of times will make or break your business, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm a bit of a nerd, so I do a lot of history stuff when it comes to like business. If you look back at the early 1900s, when all of the industrial age got popping, they weren't the smartest people in the room all the time. Especially you look at guys like, I think it's Henry Ford. He didn't do anything substantially great. He just knew how to put great or smart people around him, and he was the visionary or the focal point. So just being able to have that connection with your network is necessary to help your business grow.
Yeah. Yeah. definitely surrounding yourself around with the right people, right?
For sure.
Which is why I have my team that works with us at Stella Business Concepts.
Definitely.
So the way that we work here is I'm a business coach, but we're not technically a business coaching company. We're really a business growth company. And so we have Steph who's really great with social media. She can do blogs. She can do all different things in the social space. My sister Chris does events planning, design work. She could go into a retail space and re-merchandise it. We have Derek who does videography, photography, anything in the digital space, websites. So we kind of all come together and we help businesses in that way. And so it's almost like 4 freelancers came together under one roof, and so now we have like this really powerful
power team, yeah.
Powerful team, So I agree with that. So tell me about, you say you're a deal engineer.
Yes.
So tell me about that.
Well, what I found is I was always putting 2 people together for one reason or another. I would never know exactly where that would go or what it would lead to. But once I got into business and started to really understand the connection of the two, so if you look at real estate, are you familiar with how real estate works? So real estate investors, a lot of times when they start out as wholesalers. So as a wholesaler, you connect a buyer and a seller, and you get paid in the middle. So that's kind of the wholesaler creating that deal. So what I found was a lot of businesses are able to create those same similar relationships and make money in between. So
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
So that's why I consider myself a deal engineer. Maybe not on that level, but to the point where you're putting 2 people together and they can come up with something that's powerful.
Yeah. So do you talk about being a deal engineer in your book? Or is that something you keep
That's
close to the
something I
vest?
kind of keep close to
All
the
right.
vest. But honestly, the principles and the strategies for it,
there?
they're definitely in the book.
Okay. So what's $1 billion room?
The $1 billion room it's what happened. It's a concept of what happened to me when I built my first 6-figure business. It was me building enough influence, branding myself to a certain level, growing my network at the same time. And again, I was ushered into the $1 billion room. So as a business person or an entrepreneur of any kind, most of the time you'll find yourselves in those rooms with high net worth that typically you're not, privy to getting into those rooms just based on you not being that successful or not having that kind of level of money. Yeah. But in the room, it's the net worth of the room was over $1 billion. And Buffalo is a very small city. So being in Buffalo, I didn't know who was in Buffalo building those type of businesses, but you can see it's money all over the place. Even here, just driving, from Buffalo to here, you can see money all over. But knowing how to get into those rooms where those type of deals are being created is where the $1 billion room concept came from. So when you're actively growing your business, what you'll find is you'll find yourself in a place where the net worth is over $1 billion. And it's key to really make those relationships work and how you can really structure them. So I kind of fumbled the bag a little bit in the $1 billion room, but just being able to get there was a great experience.
Yeah. Wow. So many things there in my brain to unpack, but okay. So you recommend that folks audit their network. So if somebody's just starting out and maybe doesn't have a big network, or how do you recommend that people audit it?
Well, I would say first start with a list, just like a physical notebook. It's tedious, but do it. It's necessary. So now that you can see what your relationships are in physical time, not just scrolling through your phone. There's plenty of people. I mean, I don't even know phone numbers anymore. So for me to actually remember what's going on with certain people in my phone, it would be kind of tough. So just putting them all out on paper and doing an audit. When the IRS does an audit, they run through all of your paperwork.
Okay.
So it's the same similar concept, but you want to go through all of your contacts, whether it's social media or phone contacts, people you have in your phone.
Definitely the social media.
Definitely.
And people with that negative stuff on their timelines, get that off.
Get them out of there.
Yeah.
Get them out of there. So that's part of the networking audit. So when you do the audit, everything's on physical paper. Now you can see who needs to leave and who you need to maybe reconnect with to say, I need to find out what they do or who they can possibly connect me to or what they have going on business-wise.
Yeah.
So it's necessary to really see what your direction is and then start from there. Not saying that you got to call everybody, but you want to know what's going on.
Yeah. So there's this word that I throw around in my office a lot called reciprocal.
Yes.
And I have a director that works with me. We work a lot together, Angela, and I always say reciprocal relationships, girl. Do not give power to things. If it ain't a reciprocal relationship, you got to move on, right?
Definitely.
So a reciprocal could, maybe somebody doesn't give you a lot of business money-wise, but maybe they send you a lot of referrals.
Yeah.
Or maybe, every time you post something on social, they not only share it, like it, comment on it, like you said, intro to their people who may need that service or good.
Definitely.
For sure. So reciprocal relationships are really important. So let's say you've gotten in the room and now it's time to present your pitch. What's your advice on that?
I honestly feel like we're in a place where I guess pitching is almost a dirty word to some degree. So you have to pitch without pitching. But it starts with the way you're showing up. If I go into a room, I normally try to find out what the environment is going to be like first. Who's going to be there? What type of people are coming? Who's the audience that they're connecting with? And that'll kind of depict how I, decide to dress. I won't go fully suited to a picnic.
Sure. You read the room.
Yeah, you gotta read, but you gotta read it before you get there.
Yeah.
So you want to get as much information about that before you get there as possible. And then the second part of that is actually once you get there, now you just have to be somewhat approachable. 9 times out of 10, you'll find somebody that'll, open up and have a conversation with you, and you'll get that vibe. You know
That's
what I mean?
me. I'm the chatter.
So here's the thing, though. So because you're a powerful woman, now the person who walks in the room and they connect with you, they probably connect with everybody else in the room through you if they are smart about using that relationship.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's definitely how it works.
So watching some of your videos on YouTube, you talk about, when you approach somebody about maybe angel investors, I think was the particular scenario there, and you were talking about, like, this is what I'm doing, this is my plan, this is where I'm going. So you should have at least that type of information ready to go and ready to flow.
Definitely.
Right? You have to be confident in not only yourself, but what are you doing? What are you selling? What are you... I hate to use the word pitching, but
yeah, no, that's
we're pitching.
It. We're
that is the word.
Pitching. Yeah,
that is
pitching,
the word.
for
but
sure.
We're pitching with finesse.
Definitely.
Pitching with finesse, right? Right. So let's say, so you talk about, having the right people and the right resources. Why is that important?
It's important because it'll give balance to what you're trying to build. And knowing who to go to or having the right resources and the right people in, working with what you're doing, it makes you more efficient. A lot of people spend a lot of wasted time and wasted efforts when it comes to building a business. Friend of mine, he's working for a tech company back home. And his company tells him to make 120 calls a day over the phone. I'm like, you can get better results going and see 50 business owners for the week, as opposed to doing 100 cold calls a day. That's 600 calls plus a week. It's not really that effective because 9 times out of 10, you won't even meet the people that you're supposed to contact.
You usually get the gatekeeper.
Oh, yeah. There's no way to get through that. Now, if you can meet them personally and actually have some sort of rapport, create that vibe, as we talk about in the book, between you and that person, now you have an in. It's an easier sell to get into a company that way once you do that.
Yeah.
So...
And both of us being business coaches also know that really reduces that learning curve for that small business owner or a large business owner if it's a new space and you're not familiar with, right?
Right.
Working with people who maybe have already been on that landscape, which helps you with that preparation.
Definitely.
Before we talk about your book, the last thing I want to hear on my list of questions is, talk to us a little bit about the importance of social media of building your business in today's day and age.
Social media is tough. They keep changing the algorithm. I just actually met with a social media person back home the other day, and it's like trying to understand how to properly post, how to properly go through, tagging people, reaching out to people, because they even have limits on that. If you message too many people, you get, banned. If you post too many times, you get shadow banned. So I'm like, this is ridiculous.
You've engaged with 10 people. You're shut off for the day.
Oh, my God. It's so stupid. So it's really, I would say, being authentic is the best way to build your business on social media. Authentically you. Now, obviously, you don't want to have too much content that's outside of your, your realm. Yeah. But if it branches out slightly or a little bit or, slightly related, that's cool. That's okay. That works.
Yeah.
But anything that's totally different, like I'm in the business space. I have friends who do hip hop. I'm not posting hip hop stuff on my page.
Say that again for people. Because,
I'm in the business space. I don't do hip hop. I'm not posting a bunch of friends' hip hop stuff on my page. It's just not built for that. And it won't help you that much either. You got to have the right marketing for the right audience. Yeah. I just had a video go viral playing basketball with some friends back home.
I saw it.
You saw it?
I did.
But the thing is, I got thousands of people coming to see my page. I'm not on social media to play basketball.
Yeah.
I'm a businessman.
Yeah.
So,
but you're also a real person, so people love that,
which is okay.
Real person part.
Right.
Yeah.
So and now me and my partner, we dabble in a lot of different things.
Sure.
So we have a real estate company and we have a basketball training company as well. So that helps, but I don't use that page for that when we're not in position right now to really just go all out with it. So I'm like, well, we can train people as they come, which is what we do. But at the same time, if it's not in my niche specifically, it's kind of hard to, have that going and then not confuse the audience at the same time.
Yeah, so that's a great point. So, because I do see that with some of the people that I work with, I'm like, some of them are like have like their personal page. I'm like, you need to have a personal page and a business page, first of all. Can't have both. Like, nobody needs to see grandma's 100th birthday party on your business page, right?
Right.
You need to have both. And then again, the audience, right? And you can have multiple pages that are for the right audience. I have 5 Facebook pages.
Got you.
And my personal one, honestly, because my other career, I own several childcare programs, ain't nothing but sunshine and rainbows. Because I can't have I can't have a bad day because I'm held to a certain standard, as most business owners are. So there's the right time and the right place for everything.
Right.
So making sure that your social media stays clean and that you're networking with the right people on the right platforms in the right way.
Definitely.
So before we wrap up, talk to us a little bit about your book.
Well, the book came out of, I would say, a little bit of pain to some degree.
Yeah. We've all had that.
A little bit of pain.
Yeah.
I was being romanced by a tech company to take an executive sales position, and I was a shoo-in, but as I'm getting through the interviewing process, the last step was the interview with the VP. So the VP, me and him really didn't hit it off much. He didn't like where I got my business experience from for whatever the reason. But I wasn't bringing a book of business to the table. Most companies have non-competes anyway. Mm-hmm. So for me to bring, whatever I had prior to as business to the table for him, for them to make money on, would have kind of sucked. So probably would have resulted in a lawsuit, I'm sure. But I didn't get a position, which was great because that prompted me to open up my coaching business on the regular business scale, like as a regular traditional business owner. Because I had been doing coaching and training for over a decade, but it was just private. I was a part of different organizations, different companies where it was necessary. But to actually brand myself as a coach, that was the first step. So my business partner said, I think it's time, you should write your book. And I'm like, okay, because that was the goal, really to just test out what I had known from another industry in sales to traditional business to see how it would work. Yeah,
I think too, we go back and forth with this a lot. So I think there is formal education and then real life education. And I think, you kind of need both. I feel like I guess each one helps each other.
Yes.
But one doesn't negate the other. So
definitely not.
Some people can just have real life experience, which for the first 12 years of my business, I only had real life experience. I then went and finish my degree, but real life experiences are very valid and also help you be a practitioner because you can learn whatever you can learn from a book, but unless you put it into practice, it's it just doesn't always convert over. So and
getting that experience is really what helped out a lot. So I was able to kind of package everything that I knew I was going to teach, and that's where the book came from. But the experience, I think it pays dividends because this is something that I would never, I could never just throw these skills away. It's always going to be used no matter what area of business or whatever area of life I choose to, excel. But the principles are going to be the same because principles are transferable truths.
Yeah.
So
if one door opens, another one closes, or one opens, if one door closes, the other one opens. And if it doesn't, then we kick the door down and we make our own opening. Is what we say, right?
Right. I'm with it on that.
So give folks, you're looking at the camera, give folks your contact information on how they can purchase your book, where they would find you.
Gotcha.
Give them all that.
Okay. You can go on Facebook. Our page is the Connectors Corner. You can get the book at connectormastery.com. So www.connectormastery.com. IG, I think it's Dockery Drew, just one word. It's my name backwards. So instead of Drew Dockery, it's Dockery Drew. TikTok, Facebook, and our website is pretty much Connectors Corner all the way around.
Yeah.
So,
and if you want to see Drew in person and you are from the New England area, be sure to get your tickets for the 2023 Rhode Island Small Business Summit held here in Warwick, Rhode Island. Hopefully it won't be raining that day. You can find out more information at our website at www.stellabusinessconcepts.com. And if you like today's episode, please hit the subscribe button. Leave us a comment below if you have any questions about networking, and we'll be happy to answer them. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great day.
Take it easy, everybody.
Are you a business owner? Are ready to get your startup? Well, started. Have a burning question you'd like us to answer? Want to know more about the services we offer? Or register for upcoming workshops and events? Looking to book a guest speaker? Or would like to be a guest on the Practical Biz podcast? Visit our website at stellabusinessconcepts.com.